Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. There's a new feature added to the beta version of Photoshop that is fantastic when it works. The keywords are when it works. In this video, I'm going to explain what I mean by that, and then I'm going to demonstrate this new feature. Now, you probably already know that if you want to remove wires and cables, power lines, things like that, you could do that with a single click in Photoshop. If you want to remove people, you could do that in a couple clicks. Well, what if you wanted to remove cars, or you wanted to remove a sign, or you wanted to move a light post? Well, now there's a feature in the beta version of Photoshop that will allow you to remove those general distractions. To get to this new feature, you need to open up the Remove tool. The keyboard shortcut for the Remove tool is the J key. But be aware that that J key keyboard shortcut is shared by a number of different removal and patch tools. So go over to the toolbar and make sure that you're using the actual Remove tool. It's a little band-aid with two little stars. When you have that tool active, at the top you have this drop-down, Find Distractions. And in the past it only had two options, people and wires and cables. Now it has general distractions. Click on Find, and what it will do is it will use AI to examine the scene, and it will find the elements that are in the scene that you can remove. Now, it's going to vary from scene to scene. So if you have like a dead tree in one scene, it might find that. But in another scene, you might not have a dead tree, so it won't have that option. So it's going to find what is there. Now, it does take a little while. As you can see, it's doing it. Now, it found a lot of different things in this scene. Now, remember at the top where I said that it's fantastic when it works? This is the part that doesn't work that well. What it actually finds. Let me show you. I'm going to deselect everything. And it found drain elements. So I'll click on that, and you'll notice it found this gutter over here. So that worked pretty well. It found an actual gutter. Well, what about fixtures? What is that? When we click on that, it found the edges of this building, this part of the building and this part of the building. So that is not so good, right? Highlights. When I click on that, it's finding these two lights that are in this building. You can see them through the door. So it's finding highlights right there. Then it's finding identified objects. And what that is there's a garbage can over here, and there's actually just part of this building, or this brick part of the front of the building here. And that's what it's finding. So maybe, I want to remove the garbage can, let's say, but I don't want to remove that part of the building. But that's what it does. So it's still in beta. Local reflections. You see when I click on that, it found part of whatever this is inside of this room and this right here that is in the window, which aren't technically reflections. It found spots and dust. That's this kind of discoloration that's on the ground. It found pretty good. It found text. And if I click on that, where's it finding text? I'm not sure what it found there. I don't see anything turning on or off, but it must have found something. Unrecognized objects. It looks like it found something in this window right here. It found urban elements, which are, this garbage can again, this barber pole. It found some things in the window here, something in the window over here. It's calling those urban elements. Some of the signage right here. Vehicles. Found those fine. And visual clutter. Visual clutter, it looks like it's this part of the building over here. So for this specific building, or this specific image, it found a number of different things, but only a few things are really pertinent. In my view, let's say the vehicles, I want to remove those, and maybe this kind of discoloration on the ground. So that was the spots and dust. So once you have checked what you want removed, what you would do is go over here and you have the option to not use generative AI at all, to use generative AI, or just have it automatically use generative AI if it needs to use it. The advantage of using generative AI is it probably will go faster, or it will do a better job. The disadvantage of it, though, is it will go slower. It will take a lot longer to do the removal of whatever it is you have checked. I'm going to keep it checked, so we're going to use generative AI. The good thing, though, it does not use generative credits, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to let it take a longer time, and we'll keep generative AI on. If you have more than one layer, you may want to check sample all layers. In this case, I only have the single layer. And I want it to create a new layer so that I'm not doing anything to the background layer. So just in case it did a bad job, I could just throw that top layer away and go back to my original background layer. And when I'm ready, I have it set up the way I want to, just click the little check mark. Now it is going to use generative AI because I had that clicked on, and it does take some time to do it. You'll notice the bar seems to be going relatively quickly, but generally what I found is it gets to the end and it sits there quite a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, it's done, and as you can see, it removed the cars and it cleaned up the ground over here. So there's a before, and there's after. Before, after. So as I mentioned at the top, it works great when it actually works, and you could see that it, for what I wanted it to remove, it worked great. I think it did a great job. Now let's go to another image and let me show you some other things it can and can't do, and what you could do. For this image, I don't like these trees over here on the left. That's pretty much it. Maybe this one here too. So I want to remove these. Maybe general distractions will find these. So we'll go up to find distractions. We'll go to general distractions. It's going to again examine the scene. Now, one thing is it's not going to find any of the people. It has a separate option for that. So what you would do is you would do, let's say, general distractions first. Remove what you want to remove. Then after you're done with that, go to people, remove the people you want removed. Then when you're done with that, it has wires and cables. You could remove those as well. So you have to do these in separate steps. Now here I found a number of different things. Let's go through it real quick. Barriers. It found this barrier here, and it found part of this barrier. It didn't find all of it. Poles. It did find this sign over here. I just shot it and caught it on the edge so it looks like a pole. You can see spots and dust. It's really just the corner of the image over here, so that's a mistake. Vegetation. Okay, it found the two trees I want removed and this bush I want removed, but I don't want to remove these two bushes. Well, what you could do is you could modify this. To modify it, you have the healing brush active. Just use the plus brush if you want to add to what you want removed, the minus brush if you want to remove from what you want removed. So we're going to remove the overlay from these two bushes here. So I only wanted to remove that bush right here in these two trees. All right, so we'll go back up to find distractions. So that's the vegetation I want removed. Then we have vehicles. It's thinking that these buildings way off in the distance are vehicles. And then it has visual clutter, which happens to be this garbage can. It looks like these two people that the back is to the camera, so it doesn't know those are actual people. And some of the fence there too, or the guardrail. So I just want to remove the vegetation again. So it's just these two trees and this tree here. And we'll click the little check mark again. It's going to create a new layer, put it on top of the existing layer. And it says removing may use generative AI, but does not use generative credits. So that's a good thing. Again, I'll pause the recording and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, it's done. And as you can see, when it works great. It did a great job. It removed the two trees and it removed that bush, and it looks realistic. It did a fine job. It left the two bushes I wanted it to leave. So it did a very, very, very good job. Now, one thing I found that I think I might use it for is on some landscape images. If you have birds way off in the distance, you share it online, it's usually fine. They look like birds way off in the distance. But when you print it, often when you print it, it just looks like a speck of dirt. So it doesn't look right. So you would have to use like the removal tool and remove each one of the birds one by one. Well, this new feature works okay. It doesn't usually find all the birds, but it does a pretty good job. Let me show you. We're going to go to find distractions on this one. And again, this image has tons of seagulls way off in the distance here. So it's going to examine the entire scene. And hopefully it finds all of those seagulls that are out there in the distance. And you can see that there are overlays over most of them. It missed some in here. It missed a few over in here. Missed some in here. But it found a lot of things here. So if I unselect everything, identified objects. When I click on that, it found this balloon. So if you're on the US side of Niagara Falls, you could go up in this balloon. It's just a feature, a tourist attraction. I don't want to remove that. I want to keep the balloon. The spots and dust are the birds. And then we have visual clutter, which happens to be these rocks over here and this rock there. So obviously, I probably would want to keep those. We'll use the spots and dust. We could use the plus brush and we could add to it. So if it missed any of these birds off in the distance, use the bracket keys, left bracket key makes a smaller, right bracket key larger. So you could come in and add to this by going and clicking on these things here, these birds. But I'm not going to do them all, but you can see it saves some time though. And then we'll click the check mark to actually get rid of the birds. And again, it's going to use AI to do this. I probably didn't need to use generative AI to do this. I could have done this quicker by having that option off, because for something like this, it's not having to create something very complex behind the birds. Like if there was a sign there or a person behind there and it needed to, recreate, let's say, a person's arm or something like that, that's where you would probably want to use generative AI. But on something like this, I probably didn't need to do this with generative AI, and it would have gone a lot faster. But I'll let it do it, and then you can see, as I mentioned, it gets to the end and it sits there quite a while. So you think it's going to be done, and often it's not. You just have to sit and wait it out. But I'll pause the recording. We'll come back when it's done. Okay, it's done. Now, again, I didn't get rid of all the birds. You can see there's still a number of birds up over here, but it did get rid of the majority of the birds. So I think, again, this is in beta. It's going to improve with each subsequent release. Hopefully they improve it so it will find more dust. That's what it's looking for. So if you do have like a lot of sensor spots or something like that, hopefully it just does a better job and finds everything a lot faster. Now, where it can be maddening is when you want it to find something and it doesn't find it at all. So I have this image here, and let's say I want to remove these trees over here on the right. It's not going to find them. I'll just tell you ahead of time. So we'll go to Find Distractions, General Distractions. And again, it's going to examine the scene, and it won't find these trees. And that's another thing I hope gets improved with each subsequent release, because we want, hopefully, it to find a lot more than what it's finding. Now here it found animals, and if I click that on and off, there's a single seagull here off in the distance, and it knows it's a bird, I guess. Right? It found poles, so these poles that are sticking up over here on the right, that did a pretty good job. It found those pretty well. Spots and dust, these another couple birds way off in the distance. Vegetation, it's these weeds that are kind of in front of the water. And then it said visual clutter. So it's going to find often rocks I found is visual clutter. And this kind of part of this ledge here, it found part of that, and just a clump of grass it found. So it's maddening. In some cases, I want to find these trees over here and it just didn't do it. So it's not sophisticated enough to find specific things you may want it to find. Now, I did mention at the top that this is in the current beta version of Photoshop. If you're not familiar with the beta version of Photoshop, if you have a Creative Cloud subscription, you could download the beta version of Photoshop. To do that, open up the Creative Cloud app. When you open up the Creative Cloud app, go to the Apps tab on the left, then go to Beta. All of the beta applications that you're eligible to download with your subscription will be listed here. You can see the Photoshop beta is here. It says open because I already have it installed. Just install it. It will run side by side with the current version of Photoshop. It's not going to replace it, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you do want to uninstall it at a future point, come back here, click these three dots, and you would go down to uninstall, and you could uninstall it, and it won't, again, touch the current version of Photoshop. So that's the beta version of Photoshop. That's the latest new feature that was just introduced. So because it was just introduced, it's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but I think it has a lot of potential, and hopefully it realizes that potential very soon. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.